So with that, we'll send you out to the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, home of the Dirty Birds, where we bring in the two men who will call the action, and that's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
Well, there's a new building set to open adjacent to us to the south, but for now, they're still playing football at the Georgia Dome, and that's where we're located here in downtown Atlanta. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Atlanta Falcons. Now Wilson on first down. It's caught outright by Graham. You know, Charles, for Graham, so much concern early in the season about whether he'd be ready to play this year, what would happen recovering from the tendon. Not only was he ready, he played every game this season for Seattle.
And it wasn't just the injury concern with Jimmy Graham. It's how Seattle runs their offense. Remember, when he was in New Orleans, he could expect a ton of passes to come his way. But in Seattle, that number was going to be reduced. Would he be able to maximize what they were going to throw in his direction? And he certainly did this year, 65 catches. 65
catches, just shy of 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, too. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Going to Rawls on the dump-off. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. Now Wilson. Incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game, and the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28. The tackle there by Richard Sherman. Here's the offense, and we talk about the tight end, Jacob Tammey.
A lot of people thought of him as simply a safety valve receiver. He can be a primary receiver. Jacob Tammey shows better athleticism than what people expect.
On second down, Freeman. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Earl Thomas is the rangiest free safety in the game. Great reactions, great understanding, and boy, will he strike you when the ball's in his area.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. On third down, Ryan. He's got Sanu.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
And when you watch Devontae Freeman run the football, you can almost close your eyes, can't you? Because people just scatter. I mean, you know, when he goes through a pile, it moves in a positive direction for him. I just love how hard he plays the game.
1,000-yard season. He had 11 touchdowns last year. In March, 25 years old. So he's kind of hitting that sweet spot for a running back, isn't he? And Freeman lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And out now come the Seahawks. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory. But the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
He
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. Earlier, partner, when discussing Russell Wilson, you said you think looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. And he slings one that's incomplete. Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. And that'll make it 3rd down. And the offense looking to pick up the 1st down after the 2nd down incompletion. From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. Finding Gabriel complete. And he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the 1.
The goal of every offense is to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. A nice job finding an open receiver for a completion.
They come out here in the eye. And they'll try and burn. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Matt Ryan scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Falcons have taken the early lead.
Instead of having to play follow the leader there, the leader led.
I like that. And he likes that, doesn't he? 1st and goal, let me do the job.
Because you know when he falls into the end zone after falling behind those big guys who pushed up front, that's a pretty good celebration, isn't it?
Gives him a little street cred in the locker room, too, doesn't it?
Street cred, and then when they go out to dinner afterwards, he's still picking up the check.
And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. They go again with Rawls. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch, counter punch.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Shedd. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
On second down, rolls, and they go back down. Now Wilson.
Partner into
heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback.
A gain of 3, second down.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he'll push his way up to about the 14. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes, leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a first down.
They'll run it. Freeman. Devontae Freeman is shifting. This doesn't pay off here in short yardage. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They're going to hurry back to the line now. On 2nd down, Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He'll dump it off to Procise. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Wilson steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Going up top. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Second and 10. It's Wilson again. Oh, he's got some breathing room. It's caught outright by Graham. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Defensively, the tackle by Cam Chancellor. Second down, 8. Shift together here from the D-line. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
On third down, Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They'll try to get the running game going with Rawls. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. And he finds his tight end, Graham. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
Pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Here's Wilson to throw. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They come up in an offset eye. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Man, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
Now it's Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And that brings up 4th down.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Here's Matt Bosher now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 2nd down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Gets 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. In motion is the tight end, Graham. On 3rd down, Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And from their own end zone, it's a fake. And he's going to let it go deep. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And now they're in the hurry-up. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
1st down, this is Rawls. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now. 1st and goal from yard that time, 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them. Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it, you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the court.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Grady Jarrett in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
They come up in an offset eye. They begin the drive with Coleman. And he'll get this one up to the 26. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. On the keeper, here's Ryan. He only needed a few inches. He didn't even get that. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll run it now out of the gun. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the lead, still a 1-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now, starting to take their tape off, and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. They will run again with Coleman. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Finding Gabriel complete. The 20. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
And the kick goes outside the white lines. That's why the flag comes out.
Yes, and that was an error by the kicker, and it will give the offense great starting field position. Now
Wilson on 1st down. And it pops three. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being... Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's Desmond Trufant, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Only one timeout defensively, so this should just be a simple kneel down.
I agree totally. I looked at my time management chart. It says take a knee, victory formation. They just have one timeout left, and that should be all she wrote.
By the way, it's a good thing you can read that because nobody else can.
Not with my chicken scratch, not at all.
A good pick up there, 26 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're getting.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.